Hey everyone, welcome back to another installment of Warriors Wednesday and Warriors Orochi on the Xbox 360. Sorry I missed last week, I just didn't really have time to record an episode, so what I'm doing at the moment is I'm recording a bunch of episodes in advance, so you shouldn't have to miss out on all the delights of Warriors Orochi, if indeed you are partaking of the delights of Warriors Orochi. I'm having fun though, and that's the important thing. At the time of recording, Warriors Orochi 4 has just come out, so hopefully there's a bit of interest in the series in general. I know people tend to think that there's not a lot to sort of distinguish different installments in the series. That's one of the things I'm keen to explore with this series over the long term, is just seeing how it evolves over time, seeing what's different, what's the same, the different ways that Omega Force and Koei Tecmo have been experimenting with the formula, and it's been a good experience so far. I've been enjoying this game a great deal. So we are nearing, well, I don't want to say nearing the end of the Samurai Warriors campaign, but we're doing pretty well in it, certainly. So let's continue with that for the minute. Let's start with a few upgrades. So at the moment, Xiao has been sort of one of our good attackers for the minute, aside from Akechi. So let's upgrade her weapon. Let's add a bit of attack power to it. We can add to that air effect. We can add might as well. That can go in that empty slot there. Add some attack. Very nice. And then we can also fuse it with this one. Got ice on there already. Don't have range on there. Don't have multi. We do have agility, so that can go on there. We'll add some attack. We may as well add one of these as well. So broadens attack range sounds useful. So let's pop that on there. And confirm. Lovely stuff. Right, so she's now got a weapon whose slots are completely full. Right, Lucian was doing quite nicely last time as well, wasn't he? So, and I think we got some good weapons for him. So let's upgrade this one. Let's use one of his crap base weapons. So we'll add some attack, add some slots. Ooh, disables enemies' blocks sounds quite good. Maybe we'll fuse it with something else instead. Okay, so we'll fuse that one with this one. Or that one. Let's do that one. And we'll add slots, add attack, add agility. Can't add the other two at the minute. That's fine. And that flash sounds really useful, so let's make sure we get that on there. Slay we can't afford to add anymore, that's unfortunate. Agility, we'll pop some of that on there. I'll add some more attack. And we may as well add some more slots as well. Very nice, got some excellent weapons. Right, that'll do for now. Let's continue where we got to. So we've now done all of these. So we've done chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and all the side missions so far as well. So now we're on to chapter 6 out of 8. The Battle of Fan Castle. The castle is in danger of falling. Open the floodgates and turn the tide. Alright.
The Orochi army secured victory at Nagashino, eliminating the Takeda Uesugi alliance. Unable to simply allow Nobunaga to lay claim to their fortress in Guandu, however, Orochi was forced to send his troops straight from Nagashino to Guandu. Stunned at the loss of their fortress, depleted by the battle, and fatigued from the long journey, the morale of the Orochi army was at an all-time low. Wishing to take advantage of this situation, Nobunaga lay in wait at Fan Castle.
So I'm interested to see how it handles the story in this, if each kind of episode has its own finale, or if there's kind of another route that unlocks after you've done them all.
We certainly have an opportunity here. The battle at Nagashino must have been more intense.
I know that narrative isn't exactly the strong point of the Warrior series, but Warriors of Orochi has kind of got this sort of interesting meta-narrative going on with bringing all of these warriors together with a common foe. And then as the series has progressed, it's got kind of broader and broader with Warriors of Orochi 4 that's come out recently that seems to involve things like Greek gods and stuff, as well as sort of the Japanese and Chinese mythology that is incorporated into this series. Alright, so conditions this time around. Defeat Salpi. Nobunaga Oda is defeated. Simple enough. And as always, we're at a huge disadvantage to begin with. So that floodgate up there is going to be important, I guess. Since the description literally said open the floodgates. Screen tearing. Lovely.
The water does not seem to have dampened their fervor any, but at least it keeps their reinforcements from arriving.
Bring it on!
A water attack? I believe this was your specialty, was it not, Monkey?
Until I realized that all you have to do is open the floodgates and the plan's a total washout.
One battle after another. I don't know how much more I can take.
How long does Lord Sun Quan
Ooh,
intend
pain.
to serve Orochi?
Looks like the enemy soldiers have lost the spring in their step.
Break the vanguard and take down their officers.
On it. Maybe we switch. Oh, well, that flash thing isn't doing me much good, is it, against this guy? Wallop, 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 wallop. Let's let Lucian finish him off for some experience points. It's a shame you can't sort of cancel into a character change. That could be quite an interesting mechanic. Perhaps that's something that's incorporated in one of the later ones. I don't know. Like I say, I've when I started this series, this was my first encounter with the Warriors of Orochi series in general. My past experience with Warriors has been entirely with Dynasty Warriors and Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors, of course, being a recent cover game feature on moegamer.net. Plug, plug. Does it really count as a plug if it's on my own channel? Probably not. Whatever. Go read that stuff. It's good. Hyrule Warriors is a really good game as well, so well worth your time if you have either a Wii U or a Nintendo Switch. I'd recommend the Switch version if you have both options available, simply because it's complete. The Wii U version is good, but in order to make it as complete as it can be, you have to get a bunch of DLC. And also it lacks the content and characters and additional modes and stuff from the 3DS version, whereas the Switch version has got all of that in there with no extra cost. So it really is a definitive edition. Ouch. It is getting noticeably tougher, which is good, I guess. Does mean I'm having to be a lot more careful to not get surrounded and stuff though.
We can't take any more.
Our front line has been crushed. I have done my duty. The time has come to fall back.
Battle after battle.
So many innocent lives I have claimed. I thought it was for the future of Wu.
I think, yeah, you probably have been misled. It's,
Sun Quan has withdrawn, I see.
you know, Demon Lords are sort of known for that.
Now is our chance to pull the plug.
Right you are. Head for the floodgates.
The floodgates. Gotcha.
Alright, I'm just... Mom! I'm busy. Alright. What was that? I don't know. I evidently already picked it up. Okay, let's head for these floodgates. And they reckon head via the northern path, because that's where the defences are thinnest. I guess that sort of makes sense, because if you go through the middle, you'll have attacks from both sides. Whereas if we go from the north... Yeah, we've just got to hack and slash our way from one side. Oh, one thing I will note is, like a few episodes back, I noticed that when you stepped into sort of darker areas in this, the whole screen seemed to darken a bit. I thought that was an effect that was going on in the game, so it was something deliberate that the game was doing. But I noticed it kind of happening in a bunch of other Xbox games as well. So I had a fiddle around in the console settings and tweaked a couple of things, and hopefully that should not happen anymore. All being well.
You want to fight?
So I feel it was something to do with sort of the colour settings in the console's display settings menu. I think I had them set wrong, and that was causing particularly dark things to be darkened even more than they already were, which didn't really help things be particularly visible. So we'll see how that goes from here. Because although it was kind of a cool effect to be in a dark forest and for things to get even darker and harder to navigate, and is that when it came to the actual footage, it got a bit hard to watch in some of those places. So yeah, like I say, if you're having a similar problem with Xbox, just go in there and check the colour settings in the display options, and you may well find you can make things look a bit clearer. So it's probably going to be quite a while before I get to play Warriors of Orochi 4, since I'm fully intending on working my way through the whole sub-series. But it's certainly sounding cool. I'm a big fan of the fact that they're incorporating a whole variety of different mythologies into that now. And I know one interesting thing about the later Warriors of Orochi games is they have all sorts of interesting new modes in them. I know Warriors of Orochi 3, I think it is, has this sort of gauntlet mode, I think they call it, where you work your way through almost dungeons, I guess, in an attempt to gather new treasures and weapons and that sort of thing. Ouch. Ouch. And that for me was one of the biggest strengths of Hyrule Warriors, in that the entirety of the content wasn't just this story mode, there was all this additional stuff to do. And in fact, in some ways, the additional stuff to do is sort of the main game, if you like, or the end game, if you prefer. But like the sheer amount of adventure mode content in Hyrule Warriors gives it a huge amount of longevity. And it sounds very much like the later Warriors of Orochi games. That's what these extra modes have been designed with that in mind as well. So, because this one, although you've got all the different stories to work your way through, that's pretty much it. pretty much the entirety of the content of the game is the story mode and the free mode, which is just the story mode, but with you able to play any character rather than just the ones who are relevant to the story at that point. So, for example, once you've unlocked particular characters by playing the story mode for the first time, you can then go and play free mode, and you can use characters from, say, other forces in places where they wouldn't have been relevant to the story. And that allows you to set up some interesting confrontations and interesting matchups between characters who wouldn't have met each other otherwise. But you're still ultimately playing the same missions, so...
You have earned my praise, warrior.
Okie doke, there was another officer somewhere, wasn't there? Yeah, he's over there.
Shall be scattered to the delicate winds.
Lots of officers. Many, many officers. Get up. Oh, oh, pain. You're not a generic officer, you're a boss officer. Let's deal with generic officer first of all. These poor guys. Imagine fighting a historical battle in the knowledge that one day you would be immortalized not as a specific character, but as a completely generic soldier with the same appearance as many of your comrades.
There is still much for me to learn.
You got it.
Come back later and try again.
Right, where's Clawman?
Wouldn't mind getting in between
Come here, Clawman. Now I shall fight you. I shall fall over in your face. Fear me.
This water attack is a work of art. Hands off.
Now, mate. I'm gonna deck you. Oh, you know who I might deck first, eh? I will go and deck Base Captain first. Whoop. I guess being immortalized as a generic officer is better than being immortalized as nameless Base Captain. They had an important role to play in the armies too, you know. Not that this is in any way a historical account of anything, but, you know, I'm thinking more the samurai and dynasty warriors side of things here. Where are you gone? Come here.
Rely on me.
Slice! Where have you gone? Stuff! Ouch! Get him! Nice!
My blades strike again.
You have earned my praise, warrior.
Overwork.
Yeah, Lucian is really coming into his own now after that last episode where we kind of made use of him a bit more. High-tech water effects there. Just disappearing through the floor. Alright, now what? Okay, kill all of you while I wait for further orders. Oh, no. Maybe we run back
The time is right.
and make sure nothing nasty happens over there. Or at least rendezvous with the army. There's the bloody gate. There. Yes, there's one thing I've learned from previous installments of this. It's that you're very likely to fail things just by not paying attention to things like your home base and stuff like that.
Nobunaga, there is no place for you in my lord's kingdom. My duty is to ensure your elimination.
My father's retainers still spend their lives chasing his ghost, I see.
Okay, so there's our objective. Let's clear out the main base, and then we will go and work on that. As we don't want to go and start taking out those guys, only to discover Nobunaga's getting his ass kicked. Ooh, there's lots of people in there.
I humbly request you to
Right,
stand
have
and
some.
fight. Your selfish rampage is at an end.
One thing that would be quite a nice addition to this game would be visible damage numbers. Although you can kind of make a bit of an estimate of how much damage you're doing based on how much of a health bar you knock down at any particular time. Because I think health bars have a constant scale, in that a particular number of pixels equates to a particular number of hit points. But it'd still be useful to see exactly how much damage you're doing with any given strike at any point. Alright, I think we've got a base captain around here from the look of things, so let's... Yep, there we are. Jump at your face.
Nobunaga.
Bouncy, bouncy. Alright, that's nicely dealt with. These little weenies can probably get mopped up by the AI. Get rid of the officers though. Yeah, Lucian's doing a good amount of damage now. Definitely being a useful part of the team. Which he wasn't when we first got him, but that was because he was level 1, so... You give your officers a bit of love and they will take care of you. Die. Nice. Alright. Any more? Yeah, one more. There's a guy running into a wall. Ooh, a guy running into a wall who did a huge amount of damage to me. Obviously a trap. And you know what they say about traps. Oh, pain. You do a lot of damage. Stop it. Stop it. Thank you.
My blade is yours.
This must be all too easy for you.
Know your place.
You know, it's bad when the sword that hits 8 times comes out. Although, actually, I don't know. I've been using him so little in the last few battles. I don't know whether he's actually getting left behind by some of the other people in it. I'll have to check his levels afterwards. Right, so that has cleaned things up here nicely. We can now go on the offensive. Let's nick this horse, since no one else is using it. Oh, it's actually a reasonably speedy horse. That's good. Now, how do we get out of this place? Why can't the horse go up there? Okay, fair enough. Horse does not wish to climb that top step.
Know your place.
You want to fight? Then fight me.
Oh, hello. I will fight you. I will slice your gizzard.
Stand and fight me! I won't be denied
See ya.
next time. My blade
Oh,
strike
another one.
again.
Bloody hell. Go away.
Some very pretty work you're doing out there.
I've got a battle to win. You know your bullshit. Alright, that's a nice clean corner of the map. Time to advance. Right, looks like Toyotomi's going from the north there. So if we clean up this southern route, we will attack from two sides. That sounds like a valid strategy.
Here I go.
Sooner or later, Nobunaga will get in my lord's way. If you stop me in my duty, then you will fall too.
You look like you belong in a Yakuza game. Now, one cool piece of news this week was that Koei Tecmo is apparently sort of up for the idea of using Nintendo characters in a Warriors game, and as he specifically said that the Xeno series might make a good Warriors game, which is quite exciting. Xenoblade Warriors would be very nice indeed. Like I said last time, I think it was, I'm still surprised we haven't had a Final Fantasy Warriors, or at least a Square Enix attempt to do some sort of Final Fantasy Warriors style rip-off. Because we've had a Final Fantasy action RPG, certainly. Just seems curious, because there's certainly the huge cast there to make a full-on sort of series fan service game. We're getting a bit of a beat down here. Time to change attack, I think.
I will go down fighting.
Use the old faithful. Knock him off balance. Oh, pain. You are really irritating to fight, you know, my friend.
My blade is yours.
Know your place.
Oh, fuck. Fuck. Run. Run away. No one has any life left. This is, as they say, suboptimal. Let's hang out with Nobunaga. He'll help my health recover. Oh, what's going on?
Why are you here?
Cutscene?
You wish to judge my greatness with your blade?
I will not judge. I will destroy the pretender.
Alright, Nobunaga. Cocky. What would be really useful, ouch, would be if you could sort of tank that guy. I just beat him in the back. At the moment, he's proving quite a challenge to fight. Ouch! Change! Change! Oof. Oh dear, this is not going well. Oh, that worked.
Know your place.
Just not got. Gotta make sure I don't get caught in one of those combos. That's just the thing, because that takes a huge amount of damage. Because my defense apparently sucks. So we'll stick with the old reliable know your place.
Know your place. Know your place. Know your place.
Since that does the job nicely. Oh. Yeah. Suck it.
Know your place.
My fate is already sealed.
No, your fate is in my hands, and you may still be accused.
You were wrong to oppose me.
More Mitsuhide, cut them all down.
Alrighty. Let's continue. So Nobunaga seems to be going west. Is he following me, or is he going a different way? I'm not sure. I'm still going to go this way and clear out these gate captains. That seems like a smart thing to do. Alright, one down. Okay. Fine, we'll go and help the commander.
I need help! Now!
This is what I get for being a lone wolf. Right, come on then. What's going on here?
So, fate is still in need of Nobunaga after all.
Your selfish rampage is at an end!
Are you sure about that? Because I can jump at your face. Behold my powerful girl thighs. And again. Oh, it's so hard to hit with that Musou attack. Stop it. Stop it. Stop blocking. blocky twat. There we go. Right, now what? A base captain there. Let's just dispatch him.
Here I go. I need help now.
Oh, bloody needy, aren't you? You're fighting grunts. Stop complaining.
We can do better than that. I don't want any mercy. Here I go.
You shall not get any mercy. There's a nice satisfying combo.
Stand and fight me.
It's always nice when you get off a nice long combo that actually hits rather than getting blocked.
Resources in this meaningless battle.
I cannot think of what you could possibly mean.
Play dumb all you like. My lord can see through your charade.
Discretion is the better part of valor.
I wouldn't mind getting in between.
Every time I hear better part of Valor, I can't help but think of Baldur's Gate. Because it's a game that a bunch of friends and me all played at the same time back when it was current, and it was very quotable. Not in terms of necessarily the story dialogue, but in terms of the things that the characters would say when you clicked on them or when they took damage or that sort of thing. And better part of valor was Khalid, as I recall, of Khalid and Jaheira fame. And then you find him dead at the start of Baldur's Gate 2. Spoiler. I think the statute of limitations is probably up on that one by now. Not that Khalid's death is especially important to the main narrative of Baldur's Gate 2, so he was destined to die in obscurity in the intro sequence.
Look out! Here I come!
That's a game I should really finish at some point. It's one of those games I've started lots of times and then have, for one reason or another, never actually made it to the end of. But it's cool. It's a solid Western RPG from the era when I still enjoyed Western RPGs. Before they started getting into real levels of open world bloat and that sort of thing. But, well, with all the other stuff I have to enjoy, it's just a case of having to make time, I guess, and it's not necessarily something I particularly have time for or want to make a priority, but it's something I fully intend to go back to at some point in the future. If only to hear John Irenicus' voice again, just because that actor's voice is just incredible. I forget his name, but just his delivery of Irenicus' line is just so so wonderful. Oh, you are a primary target. So let us deck you. Hit. Oh, I got a few hits. Better than usual. Ouch. He's not doing too much damage at least. He's got pretty high defense though, that's the thing. Not chipping off much of that health bar with each hit. This is why I say the damage numbers would be quite a helpful addition to this game. Just because it would let you see if a particular character or weapon type was actually more or less effective against a particular opponent. And also just basic things like how much difference the different weapons and levelling up would make to your damage output. So like I say, it's something you kind of have to sort of guesstimate at this point. Nice.
At least I have been able to gauge your progress. This defeat will be a blow to Orochi.
My blades strike again.
Oh, we're done. I thought there was another guy to defeat. But evidently he was already dead, or we already beat him. Maybe he was the guy in a cutscene. I forgot his name. Anyway, that's a nice pleasant change, isn't it? To complete a mission first time around. Yeah, it was him.
I do not wish to live to see your ruin.
If Nobunaga does not suit your tastes, then look elsewhere for leadership. But look to the living, not to the dead. Surely you have sensed the greatness of your master's progeny.
You mean that evil-hearted man?
Since you seem to need to cross swords with a man to determine his worth, then that is what you must do with him.
Okay, as I was saying, that was a nice change to actually clear one of these missions on the first attempt rather than take 3 or 4 different goes through. So, hopefully you enjoyed watching that. We will continue next time with the next side mission, I imagine, which I assume is unlocking next. And we will continue our adventures in the lands of Orochi from there. Alright, so, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. Be sure to check out moegamer.net for new articles on Japanese and Japanese-inspired video games, new and old, every weekday. Every month, Moegamer features an in-depth exploration of an individual game or series as its cover game, so be sure to check the archives to see if your favourite has had a deep dive yet. If you'd like to support the site directly, please consider becoming a patron or buy me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.